What's going on YouTube? It's Mr. Boujee with Boujee Mobile Detailing, and for today's video, we're going to talk about the biggest mistakes that I've made as a beginner mobile detailer.
Have you ever had to do a refund or fix something for a customer even though it wasn't your fault?
For something that wasn't my fault, I have never had to do that, and that is because after I do the pre-soak and the rinse, you start to see the flaws in the paint, previous work that you didn't do. And I always like to bring out the customer, or I like to send them pictures of the damages that were there before I had the work done. And then that saves my butt most of the time, because they know it's there, and if it's my first time servicing, they know it wasn't me. So for something that I didn't do, I haven't had to pay for it pretty much.
And what about, have you ever had something with like misplaced items or missing items?
No, I've had a good job at using common sense, not throwing away things that look important. And then in the beginning, I always had little bags where I would put important stuff. But what I do now is I just like to tell people before I get there, if you could move out your valuables, and that kind of just that gives them time to take out whatever is important to them. And then before I start the detail, I tell them, is everything in here trash? And then that's kind of like another little thing for them to just oh wait, this, and then they go pick it up really quickly, whatever is in trash.
And did you buy was there a time where you buy equipment that you regretted buying? Maybe it was used from Craigslist or something like that, or brand new?
Yes. So one of the most important detailing tools is a good vacuum. So when I first started, I had a cordless vacuum, and I upgraded to a corded vacuum, but it was a rigid. But instead of getting the same one that every other detailer gets, it's like the 4-gallon with the 5 horsepower, I went a little cheaper and I got the one with 3 horsepower. So that one didn't really suck up anything like I wanted it to, and then I ended up buying the 5 horsepower one anyway. So just make the price jump when you're first starting, and don't try to go cheap on the main tools that you need, like a vacuum.
So overall, you learned, what was your biggest lesson there? Not to go cheap?
Yeah, the biggest lesson is don't go cheap in the places where it matters, like microfiber towels, air compressors, the big tools and equipment. Don't go cheap once you have your business established, right? When you're first starting, it's totally fine to go cheap, start with whatever you have. But once you start upgrading, it's good to buy quality and things that are gonna work, because if you maintain them correctly, they're gonna last you forever. Other places to go quality are like microfiber towels, proper brushes. If you get a cheap brush, the bristles are just gonna fall out. But if you get a quality brush, they're gonna be there for almost forever. The IK pump sprayers, certain tools, don't go cheap on those, but there are areas to go cheap, like certain chemicals, stuff like that.
What about chemicals? Do you still buy the same chemicals you did when you first started? Why or why not?
So when I first started, I kind of fell into the whole hype of detailing. If you search up detailing on YouTube, there's millions, thousands of videos out there, and then you kind of fall into the hype of certain companies that make you want to follow a system and stuff like that, make you want to buy the same product that does the same thing, just different watercolors. And I kind of went from doing that to now I buy from a local distributor called Dynawax. They make everything in-house, so they're not having to upsell you on the cost, because they're getting it made somewhere else and they're just labeling it with their name on it. Their prices are very affordable, and their chemicals are made in-house for I think almost the majority of mobile detailers get their chemicals there that are in the OC area. So yeah, Dynawax, I usually use their stuff now because it's affordable and it works good.
You used to do stuff for customers at first that you don't do now?
What I really focused on in the beginning, and what I like to recommend to people, is always undersell and over deliver. So you wanna make them believe that it's gonna look better, but you wanna show them that it's gonna look amazing. So that way people are always, surprised, and they're always going to want to come back because they know you have that quality and you bring that different value that other detailers don't bring in your area, because there's millions of detailers. So yeah, I mean, I still do it, but not as extreme as before. So what I used to do before, if they didn't pay for a full interior detail, I'll give them the full interior detail just to gain a clientele. But now I'll maybe touch up a couple stains, or add a clay on there, a clay mint pass. Little things that don't take up a lot of time. Before I would do things that do take up a lot of time. Now I still over deliver, but with things that don't take up that much time.
And what do you do when you have maybe a customer that is asking like a million questions? How do you handle that?
For me, I love answering questions. I love speaking about my craft, because an educated customer is a happy customer and a good customer. The thing in the detailing community that I think a lot of detailers struggle with is a lot of people try to haggle price because they're in the car wash mentality. So if just a stranger walks up to you and they're like, how much for a car wash, for a little basic in and out? I'm pretty sure all of us detailers have had that question. And in our head, we're like, oh man, like, they don't know what a basic in and out is. What they think is we're gonna run it through a tunnel wash, right? We're gonna do sloppy work. So when we hit them with like $80, they get blown back. They're like $80 for a basic. But the truth is, they don't know the amount of work that goes into that basic. It's not even basic at that point. So with them asking questions, you're able to educate them more, and they start seeing the value that you bring to the table with those $80. So I always love getting asked questions, because an educated customer is a happy one.
And when you first started out, how did you get your clients when you first started?
So what I recommend to anyone first starting out is, start with friends and family. You could even start doing it for free on the weekends. Just do 1 or 2 cars for free. Spend 2 hours of your day to, do it for free, but tell them to shout you out on Instagram, or leave a review on your Google page. Little things like that. So you can start building up your portfolio. You can get good before and after pictures, and then now when you start advertising to strangers, they have something to look at instead of nothing to look at, and them having to put their trust in you when you already have a credibility to your name. So start with friends and family, anyone who loves you, who wouldn't mind you making a couple mistakes here and there, missing spots because you're probably doing it for very cheap or for free, but it's all about that content and marketing.
And currently, how do you get your customers and clients right now?
So currently what I do is I like to keep track of clients that I've serviced, clients that have reached out, and I kind of just filter through it, sending messages to Instagram, always reaching out, always making sure that when they think about detailing, they think about my name. For new clients, it's just about going on Instagram, tagging your county, your city, wherever you are, doing tags of certain places. When you do a detail, having people shout you out. So that way you're not just reaching out to your followers, you're reaching out to their followers as well. So mostly Instagram, and then Google My Business on Google. As soon as you start a detailing business, you got to get that up and running. And then a new thing that I'm going to implement is YouTube and getting a website going.
Have you ever spent money on maybe some marketing or advertisement that didn't work out?
I've spent money on courses that teach you marketing and advertising. Some of them were good, some of them were like basic information, but overall I kind of just like doing the marketing myself, seeing what I could do organically, and then as I get more clientele going, as it gets busier, I might experiment with Google ads and Facebook ads. The reason that I haven't yet is because I haven't got my website up and going. So I feel like a website is a key aspect if you're gonna have ads going. So as soon as I get that going, I might experiment with that.
Gotcha. And why a website out of everything?
Because a website kind of allows you to showcase who you are and build that credibility before they even call you on the phone.
So you want to look professional immediately?
Yeah. I want to immediately tell them what I could do, the experience that I have, and I want them to know that I could fix their issue that they have with their car detailing needs.
All right, and if you could go back in time for when you first started detailing your business, what would you have done differently, if anything?
What I would have done differently is gotten as much content as possible. Make sure every client that you get, take down their name, take down their phone number. If you use Instagram a lot, take down their Instagram, their address, any means of communication. So first, get a bunch of content for each car. 2, get the client's information so you can start building a database. 3, go above and beyond for clients and make sure you try your best to build reviews. Make sure they tell their friends about you, friends and family. 4, don't fall into the hype of detailing chemicals. In my opinion, you don't need a leather cleaner specifically for leather, one specifically for glass. Find products that are multi-use that could allow you to put more money in your pocket and spend where you really need to spend. So that's 4. Another thing is stay organized and don't focus so much on what other detailers are doing. Focus on your progress and what you're doing, and if you're having a fun time detailing.
So you feel like multi-use chemicals are cheaper?
I mean, like what I like to use, my rinseless wash is my wash, what I use to wash the car, what I used to do the glass, what I used to as a clay lube, and what I use to do a wipe down on the interior. That's 4 or 5 different products. A drying aid as well. That's 5 different products in one product right there. Instead of going and buying each one, it not only saves you space, which you have to consider if you're working out of your own car, if you're working out of a small van. It allows you to not have to manage so many different things. Like, you're not thinking, oh, I have to go buy clay lube. You just buy one product and you dilute accordingly and you get it done.
And I've talked to other detailers before, and it seems like they're always on the move. Like these mobile detailers, obviously they're always on the move. But would you say your car is basically your office?
Yeah, it basically is, and then it kind of sucks because it's always, dirty. You always gotta move things around, and after detailing a bunch of cars all day, you really don't.
Irony.
Yeah, you really don't want to come home and detail your own car, and sometimes I feel ashamed when people step into my car and it's all dirty, and they're like, "Well, you detail cars," but it's like, after doing it all day, you really don't want to do it yourself on your own car. But yeah, your car is pretty much your office when you're on the go. You eat in there, you rest in there, that AC after a hot day, bomb. But yeah, pretty much the office. Alright, and that was it from Jesus, aka Mr. Boujee at Boujee Mobile Detailing, located in Santa Ana and servicing the local cities in Orange County as well. You can find me on Instagram and follow my journey, Boujee_details_OC, and make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below to keep seeing amazing detailing videos.